going to talk a lot about chat bots and art bots and bebops and boobops. But first, here we go. I would like to have a brief conversation with you about this following topic. And it just hit me 60 seconds before we went on the air. Are we on the air? Before we went live streaming. And that topic is this. People who cannot be wrong. Now, if you're a human being, you know there are people like that who exist in the world. And sometimes they are in positions of power, like a teacher, police officer, judge. Sometimes they're just in your life, a friend, a new friend, a mentor, a wife, a spouse. Usually not animals, though. They don't really get on that kind of power trip. And refusing to be wrong means you are always, in your mind, right. And that's a terrible, dangerous thing that a lot of us in our real lives have to deal with on a semi-constant, conscious level of behavior. Now, funnily enough, last week, I think, on our Mastodon account, I posted a little note. There was another self-realization, and it said something like, as an adult, I realize that being a mature person is admitting to things you did not do. Now, if you're old like me, and you've been married for a long time like me, you know what I mean. Sometimes there are some situations at work, at school, at play, in a marriage, in a relationship, in a friendship, where things are escalating. Blame needs to be placed somewhere. And nobody in the room wants to take, the responsibility for being wrong or for being the person who did this or the person who committed the crime. But if it's something, sort of minor, a misunderstanding, I have learned it is always best to perhaps raise your hand and say, it's my fault. Not that I did it. It's my fault. I apologize. I accept responsibility. And as the old joke goes, that my beautiful young wife does not like very much, but the old vaudeville joke is, I am married, all I do all day is apologize. Which I find very funny, and my beautiful wife does not. But it's an important lesson to learn. The beautiful young wife has replied, I don't think this means I'm in trouble, but you never know. You never know till she comes home and sees face to face. So I will say, hello, my beautiful baby, not baby, baby, Jana Marie. Nice to see you. I'll type something. Hi back. Hi back. I hope I'm safe. Oh, she beat me to it. You're not in trouble, you're improving. Oh, that's good. So sometimes you apologize for things you didn't do. Just someone has to take responsibility. There are immature people in the room, in the relationship, online. You get a lot of this online. And someone just needs to step forward and say, well, it's my fault. I did it. Can we move on? Which now brings me to the greater, more specific point of people who cannot be wrong. Very recently, there is a young woman who works in our building, who I have previously had a lot of respect for. She works very hard. But the one thing that I've noticed about her is that no matter what, she cannot be wrong. If it's 80 degrees outside and she says it's 50 degrees outside and you show her proof it's 80 degrees, she will find a way to say, no, it's really 50 degrees if you do this and that and this and that. And you know those kind of people. They're everywhere. Yeah, but. Well, it's 80 degrees outside. Yeah, but. The yeah, but people waste your time and kill you. But when these people happen to be in positions of power and they are setting policy and they are very kindly rebutting themselves, contradicting themselves, saying one thing and the other, two sides of the face, in one ear, out the other, all of that at the same time. And you're trying to get an answer from the person who can never be wrong, and the person who can never be wrong has given you a verifiable wrong answer. And they're setting policy. And when you're dealing with these people, online, and maybe in person if you happen to see them, what the person does, not when you've trapped them or backed them into the corner, but just said, can you state what the actual policy is? When they know they've been discovered, and when they know that they are wrong, they do not say, like an adult would say, it's my fault, I take responsibility, I said the wrong thing, I typed the wrong thing, I was out of line, I apologize. No, that's not what they do. And this is not that young a woman. This is a woman who has a couple of kids, a couple of relationships. She has not been around, but she has experience as a human being. So you very kindly point out, well, is it this or that? Because you said it's both. And we know it can't be both. And the answer from the person who can never be wrong is to not answer you. Which I guess is a way of them saying, I'm wrong, because I'm the personality that if I'm right, I'm going to chase you to the ends of the earth, and she is that way. The confession is in the non-response. Even though you have everything on an email proving the provenance of what was said and who was right and who was wrong, if, I guess, for these people who don't know, for them to say, well, I say nothing. Hey, it's Janet Marie again. People like to not to reply when they feel they're wrong. That is absolutely true. Yes, true. Right. They cannot be proven wrong, especially in email. Meow. So what do? These are people in management positions of power who can make your life miserable or make your life better. But when they're, making you a little bit miserable and they don't answer, well, what do? And other people have been included in this conversation. And what do? There's nothing you can do because they don't want to talk about it. Now, speaking of the beautiful Janet Marie, as you can see behind me, we have butterflies and flowers and lights and more flowers. See? Beautiful little setup. All designed by Janet Marie, sweetheart. Now, as I've said before, we need something here, because before we had stars here, so we need something here and over here. And as we talked about on Tuesday, because this material is foam and you can't stick a pin in it, you can't tape it. It needs to do like this. It needs to hang. Like with string or something. I don't know. Oh, Janet Marie says, yes, she will add more flowers soon. Yay. I will type back because this is fun. We need more beauty always. Boom. Meow. So it looks great. Maybe a little too high up because now I'm looking very small. So I have to go like this just to go down a little tiny bit. Oh, it's not working. Okay. Now it's working, I think. Oh, better. A little bit better. So that is my semi-disappointed rant about people who refuse to be wrong. And what are you going to do? You know, when a person's, 30, 35, and they can never be wrong and never admit that they're wrong, well, what do you do with those kind of people? There's really nothing to be done because, as an old mentor of mine, Howard Stein, used to say, they're cooked. They're baked. Not meaning anything drug-like or marijuana-like. Just meaning that as a person, they're finished baking in the oven. They're a completed human being. Now you can change, you can get better, and you can get married and have your beautiful wife fix you up and shape you up. Or you can just, stay on your own and continue to always be right, but only in your mind, because the rest of the world already knows.